Welcome to The Dental Brief, the podcast that delivers actionable insights and expert strategies to help dental professionals like you grow, lead, and succeed. I'm your host, Patrick Shavasty, the president of Omni Premier Marketing. Every week at The Dental Brief, we bring you real conversations from expert speakers that offer expert advice and quick tips that make a real difference in practices nationwide. Whether you're a general dentist or run a multi-location practice, we've got you covered with content that's designed to help you attract more patients, to streamline your operations, reduce headaches in managing your practice, and increase your profitability. If you're ready to elevate your practice, be sure to subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and let's dive into today's episode of The Dental Brief. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Dental Brief. As always, we're excited to bring you products, features, people, consultants, experts that can help you grow your dental practice. Today is going to be no exception to that. I think we're going to talk about something that if you listen to this and you bring it into your practice, it can really be a game changer for your case acceptance and your collection. So without further ado, Sharmeen, say hello to everyone.
Hi, everyone. So excited to connect with you today.
It's so good to have you here. Let's jump right in. You help dentists and medical practices with credit for their patients. Is that right?
I can rephrase it.
Sure.
Yeah. I run a platform where we help clinics, dentists to med spa and other areas of healthcare to secure funding, especially when their applications were rejected by the banks.
Okay. And this is is this for funding for actual practices or is this funding for patients?
So this is for actual practices. So giving you an example, a dentist who wants to expand their clinic and they're looking for a loan to go to another location. Sometimes bank, they hesitate, especially when there is a second location case. We help them to get finances from alternate lenders. So through Lyyvora, they apply with one application and we match them with multiple lenders.
Love it. So there are in practices, there's some big banks that really are dominant, right? So they're working with a lot of dentists or working with a lot of doctors. Most people know who those banks are, but they have pretty strict criteria. And if you don't meet that criteria, oftentimes you're not going to have any alternative options, or prior to you, there weren't alternative options to getting that funding that you need. That's where you come in. Correct?
Exactly. I can give you also one example. 3 weeks ago, I was working with a dentist clinic, and she had been running the clinic for last 3 years. She had been self-funded, but at this point of the time, she wanted to open a new clinic, and the bank rejected just because the last P&L statement had $1,700 of loss, and which was not exactly the loss. It was the first time in 3 years that she started hiring more people. So she had 3 people initially, and then she started growing. So the bank, instead of looking at the vision, the story was going on, sometimes they're looking for those spreadsheets, those statements, and they block those clinics to grow just because there is a small thing which looks like risky on papers, but in reality, it's nothing but growth signs.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I've heard of some other things, like if maybe they don't have a lease that's past 4 years or 5 years and they can't get one negotiated, a bank might turn you down because of that. What are some other common reasons that banks turn doctors down for that you're able to overcome?
That's a very good point to say the common, because so many reasons are not even common for the banks. They assess case by case, and the moment they say a slight risk somewhere, they hold on the funding. The number one, I would say, reason that I have seen again and again is the completion of all the papers to be submitted. So they ask tremendous amount of papers. You need to have the lease agreement, you need to have this, you need to have this. And then first of all, it takes time. And second, if something is missing, it signals them that maybe this is a bit shady or something, and then they falls back.
Sure.
So I would say that it's a big hustle. I would say it's not only the reason that they reject, but also the dentists who are not ready to apply. The moment they start thinking that, okay, we're going to grow, and then they go to the bank applying, and then they give them a long sheet of paper that you need to have all these things. It slows down their ambition, and they say, okay, you know what, maybe next year I'll try. So yeah, I would say the
Right.
number one reason is the long list of papers that they need to submit.
Yep. The right funding at the right time can be a game changer for so many businesses, right? And so many will fall short because they won't get approved and they'll stop, and you help them keep going. So tell me, how does your process work? If you're looking for funding, if you need some help, tell me, how does that work with you? What's the process look like? Where should a doctor start?
So the first thing I suggest them is go and apply that if they're looking. I would say that, okay, let me rephrase the whole thing. I see two types of dentists today. One who are ready to expand, they made their business plan, they are all ready to go, and they're looking for financing. And bank might not be the best option because they want the funding as quickly as possible. So those are the clinics slash dentists who are ready to get funded. They have everything in their hands. So in that case,
Right.
I would say they can just apply with one application. And what Lyyvora does is with one application, we match them with multiple lenders. So we have vetted lenders inside our platform. We send through this application, we send all of them to provide the best offer you can. And as the clinic has to apply through only one application, they don't have to go and shop around other lenders. They're all combined in one platform, and then they provide the quotes for the term and the interest, etc.
Sure.
What we do is try to do as quickly as possible within 48 hours to get the first quote, and then the dentist, they choose the best option for them in terms of the what kind of funding they want. Is it a revenue based funding they want, or more of a term loan or a line of credit? So when they compare multiple offers with those lenders, they choose the lender they want to work on, and this is where Lyyvora match the clinic with the lender that they want to work on, and then they start working for the finances. And I would say
Yeah.
that a majority of our clients got funded within a week. So that's the timeline that we beat comparing to the bank.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I think I can see so many uses for this. One thing that just came to mind is I know somebody that knew of a practice where that was the charts were for sale for the practice, but they couldn't get traditional financing and there was a lot of charts. It seems like that's an area where you guys could certainly help out. What are the loan minimums and maximums that you typically see and work with?
There is also something new that I would say, going back to your question that you asked me, what are the common reasons they deny, is that we accept 20K ask, from 20K ask to up to 2 million to 3 million. And what we have seen, the banks are more interested for the longer, big amounts like 300K, 400K. And maybe they're
Right.
too small for them to fund it, while we have this flexibility to start with the smaller amount and go up to 3 million.
Yep, it makes sense. I want to thank you for coming on today. I want our people to check out your website, our listeners to check out your website to learn more information. The website URL, we'll post it, of course, but it's Lyyvora. It's Lyyvora.com. Please check it out. And Sharmeen, thank you so much for coming on today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Patrick. And yeah, let's connect it afterwards.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Dental Brief. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a colleague who could benefit. We're here to help dental professionals like you stay ahead of the curve, one brief episode at a time. You can find more episodes and resources at thedentalbrief.com. You can also join the Growth Minded Dentist community on Facebook. Links are in the description. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and thanks for being part of the Dental Brief community.